path from survival to significance isn't easy, but it also isn't a mystery. The freedom, fulfillment, and financial outcomes you hoped for from your real estate career are within reach. You just have to follow the path that leads there. All right, Dylan, honest curiosity, when did you first hear about Agent Archetypes? I was going back in my archives, and I couldn't pinpoint it exactly. I know where we were sitting when you first introduced it to me.
When I told you about it.
Yeah. I
you want to know when
where
I
you
first
got
found
it. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you the year.
That's okay.
I can tell you it was at a sort of a private conference. We had hired a firm, T360.
Okay, yes.
Swanepoel.
That's coming back
and
now.
Yeah, they had come and put together a little private seminar for us and several other brokerages. And it was one of the first things they taught. They sat down with a bunch of us and they were like, hey, have you guys heard of Agent Archetypes? And we were like, no. But I mean, yeah, it was, they said that in a way that was almost as if to suggest, well,
how
do you not know the most basic thing about real estate?
Yeah.
And ironically, that's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah.
I mean, after learning that, it really opened my mind to, wait, this opens a whole new chapter, a set of doors, and a framework for thinking about how we coach.
Yeah. I remember setting the table upstairs when you first shared this with us, and I remember just being like, what? Like, how have we not had this? It's so clear to me now.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, it does provide that framework for thinking.
Well, and if I go back to before that, I think I've always loved our company's direction, and we've had a very relational approach.
Yes.
And I would never say we didn't have the language for network or prospect or converter, but we were a quote-unquote networker company. And it was not because we were trying to be networkers. It's because we had learned Buffini's approach to real estate sales and building a business by referral.
Yeah.
The danger of that is that you do kind of, it can be limiting.
Pigeonhole a little bit,
Pigeonhole our agents into a situation where the top of their funnel at the beginning feels like it needs to be network or oriented when that's not their unique capability.
Yeah.
So what this has done is open up the initial phase of lead generation where you can build it in a way that works for you, and then eventually build out a machine, our unique process.
Yes, absolutely.
Where you can create a tribe of advocates regardless of what your initial skills were. So
this
has been maybe one of the most important
additions,
impactful, profound little philosophical ideas.
Yeah.
And it's just had a huge impact on how we not just coach, but I think sort of the freedom we've got to guide our agents down multiple different channels.
Yeah, absolutely. The framework is like the eye-opening part for me. Okay, so I think it's been a really long time since we've dug in. So I do actually want to take a quick 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever we need, just to kind of quickly review these four, just because this might be brand new for some of our people. So yes, we have the four agent archetypes: networker, marketer, converter, and prospector. Just a quick flyout.
Order.
And I know we disagree on the order that we go through these, and I can't remember your order. This is how I do it. So we're going to start just kind of describing the axes, right? Like, so top to bottom, when you're looking at the vertical axis, your y-axis, it is going from direct to indirect, right? So it's kind of understanding the communication style is direct to indirect. The other axis, your x-axis, horizontal, is going from stranger cold to warm people that you know, right? So that
context
kind
of the relationship.
Sets up your four quadrants. So I am going to kick off with networker, and then I'll let you lead where we go second. So networker, just a quick description. Networker, what is this agent archetype described by?
Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah, go.
Well, our networker likes to engage with people they already know, like, and trust, and they want to go get face-to-face with them.
Yeah.
Whether that's on the phone or in person, coffee. This is a people person that likes to gather a tribe. I always think of people that like sitting around at sporting events where the kids are and knowing all the people.
Yeah, that's good.
They get energy from people, and they want to gather their tribe together, and we're in the people business no matter what. This is a different category of that. This is, I like to, well, I call it shake hands and kiss babies.
Yes, you do.
Don't want to name names, but we got a lot of networkers in our organization.
Yeah, that's a good foundation to add to this layer as we're going through this. I always kind of describe these as what actually gives you the most energy or drive, and you get excited about living in that space. So that's kind of a good framework. I'm going to go prospector next. Is that the direction you like to go? Okay.
I mean, it's not the best way to describe it, but it's easy to think of this as a classical salesperson.
Yes.
This is someone that's going to go and, whether it's door knocking or cold calling, they go out, they're a hunter. They're going to head to where the opportunities are, and they're not afraid of some no's along the way.
Yeah.
So they're going to go sell.
Yep.
And I think hunter is actually the best description of this.
Yeah, and traditional. I feel like that is the space. If you were to look at the traditional lead generation activities, they tend to lend themselves in that space sometimes.
And what's ironic about a prospector is, although it's completely counterintuitive and crazy to a networker, they'd much rather call a stranger than call a friend or a family member.
And hear the no, it's safer from the stranger.
It's safer, and they can do their work. Whereas the mingling of the relationship for a prospector, it's like that's just messy, and I'd rather go sell where I sell.
Yep, very good. Okay, we'll keep going around. Converter.
Yeah, it's interesting. This has been the one that we've had the most maybe evolution and growth and understanding of.
I think so, for sure.
Because it wasn't a space that we focused on early on. But yeah, our converter, because they're on the indirect side of communication, they don't thrive on going out to get. So where they thrive is when given an opportunity for someone to raise their hand.
Yeah.
So we're indirect in our communication. We prefer that it comes to me first. And then cold. So online leads, anything along those lines. We've learned buyer's agents that work with a team lead or someone.
Yep.
And then obviously the whole online lead generation space, open houses is a great example of this. But our converters are very diligent. They're very Johnny on the spot. They're consistent. They're ready, willing, and able. They're available, and they're very thorough at their follow-up.
Yes.
In order to guide someone from A to Z.
Yep.
And so we've seen a lot of growth with our converters and a lot of success there. Yeah,
absolutely. And the last one, indirect with people we know, marketer.
Yeah, so I'm a people person. I like my people, but I just feel bizarre having to pick up the phone and call them. So what I'd prefer to do is create a context where I can be top of mind with my database, with my network. I'm good at doing client testimonials, little videos that talk about what's going on in the market. I put myself in front of not strangers, but my people, which social media is a massive, massive vehicle for. I think being a marketer 20 years ago was about billboards and magazine ads. And,
much different.
Direct mailings. Today, we really have this beautiful capacity to be highly relational in our marketing space because we've got this beautiful machine where we get to put ourselves in front of our sphere through social media.
That top of mind awareness with our people. Yep, to create the flow of people coming to you. All right, so that's just a quick review. I'm curious, and I have lots of thoughts on this because we have Thomas, that our foundations coach, teaches this with a lot of our new agents. What have we learned now that it's been several years? We can't pinpoint the exact date, but what have we learned around agent archetypes as we work with our agents to understand this, to figure it out, those kinds of things?
Well, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is we've just learned how to be a better coaching organization.
Yeah.
I think we're a much better company than we were 20, 15 years ago, simply because it gives us a channel to meet people in their unique capabilities and guide and coach them in a slightly more customized way. What I love is how, we started with everyone's got to do calls, no, it's Popeyes. We sort of expanded to, there's multiple ways to skin this cat, and we can really help people thrive in their unique capability. And then it almost came back together again, where it's like, yes, but despite the fact that we can start in these various ways, really, we're all still playing the same game.
At the end of the day,
And that game is like, find your unique archetype, develop a 5-spokes plan that allows you to have a diversified, steady, and structured lead generation plan. But at the end of the day, ultimately, we're creating remarkable client experiences
so that
in order to generate a tribe of advocates that ultimately will bring referral-based business in. So I think it's been an evolution.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's provided more direction and freedom and clarity for us. I think we are more capable at coaching people now because we've got more confidence in each of these grids.
Absolutely.
And so, I just love what it's done for us there. And I think it's given our agents more confidence too, because I think if I think back to early on, you could watch some people sitting in the room that had maybe a converter or a prospector skill.
Kind of skills, yes.
And you could see that they believe everything we're coaching about referral-based business, but there was a piece of the pie missing where they had this, it's kind of like they had this arrow or a slingshot or this tool that they wanted to go use, but there wasn't a mechanism or a natural space for that to fit into a more networking-oriented organization.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was just imagining little Angela sitting in that Buffini class. And that was what I was coached. There were no archetypes at that time. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is me. Like I get to do this relationally and I get to be with my people. This is my favorite thing in the world. But yeah, it is interesting. I definitely saw people that struggled with that. And then when that was the only prescription or prescribed pathway that we gave them to start their businesses, to generate leads, it didn't always work for everybody. So yeah, I love that this gave some other, there's other ways to go about this.
It's a beautiful evolution, and it's a far more holistic and capable picture. Our quote unquote unique process, building a tribe of advocates, the way we coach that, I really think has been just fundamental to a lot of the success that we're seeing.
Yes.
And Archetypes really is the beginning point of that. I mean, the way you guys coach this is day one.
Yep, pretty much.
We get you licensed.
Yep.
And then like the next thing you do is you start to figure this out so that you can build a lead generation plan that you believe in, that works, that matches who you are. So it's just such a huge insight.
Yeah, I believe so too. And I feel like coaching this, I want everyone to hear also, yes, we talk so much in your meetings with Whitney when you're thinking about getting into real estate about the difference between a transactional versus relational approach. And I just always want to throw out there, because I think a misnomer that we can get trapped in is, should I be a converter in this company? That seems like people draw the parallel line between the direct and the indirect to transactional versus relational. I'm like, no.
Completely different thing.
It's so different. You can be a relational person and put the person first in any of these quadrants, and you can build your business that way. So it's just, I always have to reiterate, because people like automatically draw that parallel for some reason.
No, I've seen it too. And we probably could do a better job of delineating that before we get into archetypes.
Yeah.
Now, step one is
understand.
A transactional approach means that we engage in a transaction and I get paid for it. And that's the end. That was my ultimate outcome.
Goal.
My goal was the deal and the commission.
Yes.
A relational approach means that I'm invested in this beyond the transaction because I've got a larger objective. I actually care about the human and what I can do to make their world better, because I believe that if I do that, I get transactions as a byproduct. When that's step one and we say, hey, we're relational, then we go ... Now, here's 4 different ways that we can go about building this relational business. And maybe that would help with the clarity. But I totally see what you're saying. And so once and for all, prospectors and converters are not transactional.
Yes.
There's a transactional way to do all these things. You can be a transactional networker and a marketer, 100%. So first, understand the business we're in, then recognize, wait, there's different skill sets and approaches to this in terms of our communication and our... I don't know how you describe the other one, our propensity to want to deal with strangers or people we already know.
Yeah.
I love that clarity. I think that's pretty important.
Something else that I've definitely taken away from a lot of this is I feel like people thinking about this for the first time will look, well, like, is there an easier one or one that's like harder? I mean, truly, they're like, I don't know for sure. I'm not feeling exactly where I get most excited or get my energy. And honestly, I just, once and for all, I want to say, like, they all require different things and they all are going to be challenging. They all are going to take work and consistency and a system. So no matter what you pick, they're all going to take work.
I've never heard that question. So
really?
Where's that coming from?
I think I think they're just looking for like some direction. Like it's still maybe, I'm hearing these. I'm like, okay, I get it.
Just get me the first leads,
yeah, like
please.
Just tell me more what to do. And I'm like, I can't really do that. But definitely there are different strategies when you then take this to make your 5 spokes plan. There's going to be different strategies, and some are just short term and some are just long term, and you got to work.
So I'm interested from your perspective on that. Then clearly people gravitate towards one or maybe 2 of these.
Yep.
But early on, I think some of the guidance is, but also be willing to play outside of your comfort zone in other places. Maybe you'll learn that you're actually better at something that you didn't know than you think. Mm-hmm. But also maybe diversification is more important early on. Any leads from anywhere.
Yes.
Is that how we're guiding our new agents?
Yes, absolutely. I think you may surprise yourself. I kind of use my story of like, I surprised myself as a pretty good converter when the leads came to me, and I never ever would have thought that I lived in that space.
Why? Because it sounded transactional?
Yes, I think I was mixing the things together. I really was. And I was like, no, I'm totally a networker when we had this framework then. But I was like, you know what?
Knowing you, I'm like, of course you'd be an amazing converter because you're so diligent and steady, and you're going to respond to, you're an ET, right?
Right. As soon as the people came to me, like, let's sit across the table and have a consultation, and they're usually my client at that point. Yeah. But it was surprising to me. So I feel like diversification is the key. They all take work. no matter what. There's no shortcuts or whatever. You're going to have to figure it out, choose the things that you're going to go do, no matter where you live on here, and then create the process and the system to go do these things.
It's just fun when I think of, Donna Meter, door knocking as a prospector. And
yes.
We just wouldn't have had space for that 15 years ago. That would have been such a bizarre anomaly. I think of a lot of our Zillow players, not just, Tyra. I know we got several other agents, Jason Mickelson's team.
For his team. Mm-hmm.
Again, that's a space that we've really been able to embrace.
Yes.
And I just love that we can support everybody in those various spaces while pointing everybody towards the long-term game plan of, at the end of the day, just like no matter what, we're relational.
Yes.
At the end of the day, no matter what, we're building a tribe of advocates.
The goal is the tribe. Yeah. My number one takeaway on this before we kind of get wrapped up to our tips, what we want to tell people, is just, again, must understand these concepts, transactional versus relational, agent archetypes, so that you can go make your lead generation plan, because without leads you starve. So you have to think about this first before you're doing anything else. So number one tip, if I'm a new agent, if I'm a transfer, or it's just been a long time since I've heard this, what would you recommend people do thinking through this? What's their first thing? What's their next step?
I don't know about first or next step, but I the way I think about this is maybe just don't overthink it. It's a little bit like Enneagram. When you take the Enneagram, they say don't take the test.
Yeah, just read it.
Mm-hmm. Understanding this is empowering. You don't have to pigeonhole yourself.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in playing to your strengths. And I think we spend a lot of our time in our lives like trying to fix all the weaknesses. What this does is just helps you identify. Sometimes naming things is powerful, because I didn't know that there was a grid, and I didn't know that there were those quadrants, and it helps me file things and think more clearly.
Yes.
I think that's the goal of this, is that there's slightly different ways to do this. You don't have to be married to any one of them. That's not the point. We're not trying to label you. We're trying to provide clarity so that you can approach lead generation in the most natural way that's organic to what you get energy from. Great way to put it. And then, it's going to be also fluid. I don't think you're going to become one different one the next year or something, but I do mean that your lead generation plan will continue to evolve over time. And I just think this is a general tool to create some naming so you can get more clarity on having a plan of action that you believe in and works for who you are. And I think that it's always going to be work. This again, it doesn't. I think you were saying that earlier.
Yeah.
There isn't just some magic free ticket here. Real estate's flipping challenging. It's also unbelievably rewarding when you can do it well. But if you could do it in a place where you get more natural energy, why wouldn't you start that way? So,
what I was hearing when you just described all that, I love that so much. It was just empowering you to go make your own decisions about who you are, what you are going to go then do and commit to create leads. I feel like that's what I was hearing when you were saying all of that. That's so good. And I think my number one takeaway, I guess, is just if what you are currently doing is not working, maybe this framework can help open your eyes and open the doors for more options or more availability, and maybe diversify is what you need to go try and do to open up the doors and open up the floodgates maybe for new leads coming into your sales funnel. So I think that's kind of what I think about, is maybe re-looking at this through a new light to help you maybe diversify a little bit. I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you guys are able to teach this and do the way you do. I think it's a beautiful place for everybody to start.
Yeah.
And so love what the fruit that this has been producing.
Yeah. Provides so much clarity. Use this as a framework to get you started. Make your 5 spokes lead generation plan. Go from there.